Okay, so I recently bought a Cammus C5 wheel, which came with the CP5 pedals. It's part of a bundle. Now the problem I'm having, I'm noticing more on the brake pedal. I suspect it's doing the same thing on the throttle. Sometimes the brake sticks on, so I'll be driving along, having a good race, and then the next thing, car just feels really sluggish. Notice the brake lights are on when you come out of cockpit view. Dab the brake pedal and then you're off again. So tried all sorts, adjusted the dead zone, one thing and another, it just keeps coming back. So kind of assumed it would be a hardware issue. So what I've noticed today, I've stripped my pedal down, so just basically taking it off the base. Let me put you on to flash so we can see. So inside there you've got a little grub screw that holds, I'm assuming it holds this on, and then on the end of there you've got your magnet, which basically gives the reading to the pedal base. Now if I firmly move this, I have to excuse a scar on my hand, you can see it moving, but it's not moving in relation to the pedal. Now it seems like there's some sort of bonding. I thought it was grease originally, but it isn't, because it's hard. And I don't know if this is Cammus's attempt to somehow mount the shaft to the thing. Either way, it's not working. So come up with a cheap little fix. Basically I've got some M4 by 40mm stainless bolts that I had lying around, or set screws, or Allen screws, if that's what you want to call them. So yeah, what I'm going to do is feed this into the end of where the grub screw is. So leave the grub screw in place, that is tight, I've checked it. I'm now going to feed this into the top, and then my idea is to then cable tie it to the side of here, so it's not causing any damage to the pedal. Shouldn't invalidate any warranties unless you tell me you've done it, but even then, if the product wasn't shit in the first place, you know. So yeah, I'm going to do that now, and then I'll continue the video. Okay, so I started that off. Sorry, it's difficult to do with one hand. So as you can see, started to screw that in. Now I'm just going to wind it up with my tool. Okay, so that's all tightened up. Now what's interesting, you can see actually how much play there is at the top end. Now look at the state of that. That is absolutely shocking. So that magnet can move that much. I suspect more if I forced it, but I just found that ridiculous. So what I'm going to do is cable tie this to the little metal piece there, and then we'll put them back together and I'll give them a whirl. Okay, so the cable tie is now on. Just going to give that a little trim, but you'll see now if I try to move this, that is absolutely solid as a rock. So hopefully, I'm going to recalibrate them now, they'll work properly. Okay, so I've had to change my original plan. So put the bolt in, and as you can see this one's straight, and I've had to put a kink in. The reason is because of this here. So that is your pedal stop that goes on there, and if I left it straight, basically it was catching. So that's the new plan. I've put a bend in the Allen screw, which might make it a bit of a shit to remove if I ever have to, but hey ho. And then what I'm going to do is feed this through here to basically lock it in place, and then stick a couple of washers on either end. So I'll do that now and then show you the results. So there you go, all done. I've used a nylon locking nut on one end just because you don't want to tighten this as hard as it'll go, because basically we'll just squash that and that in. I think it's already started to pull it in slightly, but now you can see when I press it down, everything's nice and steady, and that doesn't quite catch, which is my main concern. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Okay, so to forgive my rather rudimentary setup, touring car style sequential shifter, completely homemade. It's not pretty, but it does the job. Yeah, that's pretty much my setup. Space is at a premium, so I haven't got room for a full rig. It's actually more rigid than you would think, which is good. So let's have it. Pedals are back on. I have to forgive the block of wood. I've yet to make a proper mount for it, but power on the wheel. Okay, turn the monitor on. Get rid of that. Shut down that. To the Cammus software. What the fuck? I always ask me that question. Okay. There's another problem I usually have. So, for some reason, power it off again. There we go. Absolutely no idea why it does that. I don't know if it's a hardware issue at my end or Cammus issue. But, okay, let's go into the pedals. Okay, so I'm going to set max and min now. Normally you'll see a little bit of hovering here, but you can see I'm not actually getting anything straight off the bat, which is great. I've not done the throttle side yet, but I am going to do it. I've just run out of M4 bolts. Right, let me set my max and min. That seems to have cured it.